know, guys, like, wait, where's my water at? Like, I feel like I should just start this episode by telling all of y'all to drink you some water, because, hey, Jesus. My eye. You want to see my full eyes, but now I want to see me to see me together. But anywho, welcome to this here random thoughts. It's a beautiful, what day is it? I've lost track. Wednesday or Tuesday? Both. It is both of the two, or the two of the both. Anyway, one of them. My name is Tina Fierce One, and welcome to my random thoughts. First of all, before I even start this episode, I just want to take a minute out and tell all of y'all messages and to say, you people have been crazy on my timeline asking me to do an episode ASAP. Most of you have been telling me to do a full hour, like we don't always do full hours. I'm like, wow, the drama is real. So, a lot is happening in this country. I don't even know where to start. Where? Okay, let's start it from the mamas. So remember when I did the episode and I was asking why the Independence Monument had turned into a big ass letter M? Well, guess what? They came out and told us the biggest letter M was standing for the Mama Awards, which is the MTV Music Awards, right? The MTV Africa Music Awards. So it started with that, and the TLs were crazy. But the first thing that started all the violence, it's a good thing. One, it's a very good thing that finally the mamas are coming to Uganda. I mean, we can be grateful. Isn't that a good thing? It has never happened. All these other countries have hosted them, and we haven't. And yet, I would like to believe we have a small contribution to the international musical scene. Very small, but it is there. So anyway, the drama started when they actually put out the list of our nominees, given the fact we are the hosting country. That is what we wanted to see. So let us break. These are the only categories. I don't know, how many categories do you think are there in general? They're like many. They say breakthrough act, and the nominees are, you have Elaine, Focalistic, John Black, Omale, Shasha, Thames, and Zuchu. That is breakthrough act. My question though is, breakthrough in what sense? Do they, is it like, can they determine a breakthrough from just that year, or a breakthrough act? It doesn't matter. It could be 3 years and then you notice that he's a good artist and you break him out. That's why they call him a breakthrough artist. Anyway, John Black, if you ask me, we all knew very well. They put this shit up knowing he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win. You can't have, Thames, Omale, and then you have John Black, and you know what? Anyway, that's breakthrough act. Then they brought it back. Best Ugandan act, and the nominees are Bebe Cool, Daddy Andre, John Black, Shiba, Spice Diana, and Vinka. If you ask me, which one of these is going to win this ish? My money is on Bebe Cool. Not because he has new music. No. Not because he's Uganda's best act. No. It's because I believe whoever brokered this deal for the mamas to come to my country had, they have ulterior motives. So I believe they'll give it to Bebe Cool. If it is so far stretched and they give it to anybody else here, I think Vinka, because, well, she's kind of on their level. So Vinka will take it. Then they went on ahead and they said the best female act. We have Simi, we have Shiba, Shama Josie, that's the chick from South Africa, Busiswa, Yemi Alade, Soraya Ramos, and Tiwa Savage. Kati mukwate Shiba oganira ku microphone wa mumuteke mutuluwali ya Simi, mumuteke ne Tiwa Savage, mumuteke ne Yemi Alade, munywanja ichi baji bagulirawa. Like, we all know this shit is not going to fly. Don't we have another artist? Which female artist do we have that we could actually have fronted here who can sing a little bit? Who won't embarrass us and just show up and say, DJ level? Who? Rema? Oh, now Aliedi atunda yogati when hamuza, she lost relevance. Tuveyeyo. To Veye. Anyway, all the drama started with the mamas. So now let's go to the interesting stuff. So after the mamas and what had happened, Beba Cool comes out and he says, oh, there's going to be this there's going to be an artist flying into the country. Agenda kube chivulu banaye temuchikiriza Ugandan artist temuchikiriza blah 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 blah. And then before we know it, like 3 people are jumping on it. Ugandan artists though saw the message. Beba Cool delivered the message. It's like, these guys are coming in. If you let them perform, then you all don't know what you want for yourself. But because it's Beba Cool who delivered the message, everyone was like, whatever. So before we know it, Thames and Omalay come to Uganda. Before we know it, before we know it, social media is showing photographs. Before we know it, artists are finally going like, what? Beba Cool was serious. This guy came. And then the drama. The drama started. Who was the first artist that actually said something? Hey. I want to first take this opportune moment to tell my Nigerian brothers and sisters, Abi, we are sorry now. We are sorry. Do we have something white? Like, I have a white flag here. Like, we're waving a white flag, Nigeria. You win. We're not that good at being savage with the insults. You win. Anywho, situation escalates. We see the photos going viral on social media. So all these different entities, especially the entertainment sector of my country that claims they have been in lockdown for the past 8 to 9 months, stands up in an uproar. They're like, well, how? How? We have not been working. And then they just bring another artist from another country. With no SOPs, no social distancing. But we cannot do these things for the past 9 months. I'm like, okay. Next thing we know, Cindy does a video talking about the situation. Next thing we know, Waiki Brenda, sorry, Benda or Brenda, but I think Waiki Brenda suits him, right? Brenda. Waiki Brenda also, peppers in his cathode. Joe Steady with his big ass head also puts in his cathode. I'm like, oh, interesting. Now, this is where I'm going to, I know you guys are going to hate this episode, but I'm just going to be as objective as I can be. One, I believe that Ugandan artists and entertainers do have the right to actually complain about the unfairness of that situation, right? I do believe it. They have a right to say, hey, yo, we've been here, we're starving, we're hungry, you ain't done shit for us, we want something. That was our livelihood, right? They have a right to do that. But then again, Ugandan artists, you lost the right. No, you have the right to actually say scream and fair and cry wolf. But you see, what happened is you couldn't have fathomed the thought that before you stand up in arms and say it is wrong of the government, what do the people think of you? Because the people are out here saying, oh, we needed you just a couple of years. Just weeks back, we had police brutality. Our fellow friends were being, shot on the streets. Friends and family, you all said zilch. You just posted up your photos. There's a time we needed you when Chagulanyi wasn't allowed to actually host Energy Vulu. Not a damn artist stood up and went like, okay, if you did, but those are the ones who had nothing to lose. But abani artists bavu. But my question is, abantu bemuyomberako bemugamba it is unfair, because listen, when an artist says that it's unfair treatment on them, they have to make money, they have to eat, it means they want to come out and perform, right? And who do they perform for? Ask the people, and ask the people were never represented by them, the people that were put up on a pedestal. So I think you understand how this goes. There's a loyalty chain here. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. Artists in Uganda though have this whole habit of, they just want peeps to just keep scratching their back, and then they never scratch no back. If that even makes sense. They never scratch no back, right? And now these are the same guys coming up and screaming, war is me. How could they do this to us? It's unfair. We're starving. We, the people, are sitting back and we're like, okay, we see you complaining, but do you know we don't want you either? So we're Baba Sumulula and we don't want you to sing for us. Then what? I'm just saying. Anyway, like I said, they have a right to. But you see, they couldn't really uplift that right because the masses are tired. Uganda. I've wanted to say this openly. I know I always say it. Stop making these people celebrities. Stop making these people, stop glorifying them. Stop putting them on a pedestal if they're not doing the same thing back for you. That's just it. These artists need us to thrive, just like we need them to thrive. It's not always going to be when we need you, we need your voice, we need your loud voice with numbers, the following, you know? When we say we need you and you don't see to that, and you expect us to stand up for you, son, I'm sorry, that ain't finna happen. That's not going to happen, not in this day, not in the next day, or the other day, because you've been doing this for a long time. Zenkulidde Uganda. Nga abayimbi ba Uganda bamanyiko kintu kimu. Ate nze nnemedde nnyo ku bayimbi kuba be basinze okwoggana. Abayimbi ba Uganda tebalivaayo ne bayambako ekintu ekitegeerekeka. Naye bwe balwala, bwe bafiirwa, bwe bakutuka, buli kimu basaba ffe. Kawooshi ne zifuuka kawooshi. Essaala ne zifuuka essaala. Munyambe n'afuuka munyambe. Febe musaba bwe tubasabako okutwogerera nga temwina kye mugamba. Why? As you know, we make money on this here app, and today the proud sponsor of this episode is none other than Moyo Connect. Now, for all of you who don't understand what Moyo Connect is, let me give you a simple story. For all my brothers and sisters who are out in the diaspora, who are tired, when I say tired, if you're tired of sending money home and it never gets to do what it's supposed to do. If you're tired of sending money to look after something and they never do it, if you just are abroad and you have something that requires management, terms to do with building, construction, family member is sick, sending money or looking after a family member here without you having to go through the hassle of zinatuka, anazifuna, it's very simple. Just go down to, you can contact them on support@moyoconnect.com in case you want to find out. That's support@moyoconnect.com. Go to that website, people. I'm going to put it down in the link in the below website. Is that how they say it? Link in the below? Or below in the link? Link in the below? Description in the link below? Oh yes, I need to learn this YouTube. Yeah, but anyway, Moyo Connect has been our proud sponsor. Don't forget to check them out, especially for you if you're living in the diaspora. I know how tedious it can get. It can definitely get tedious to send money back home and it never gets to where it's supposed to be. So yes, holla at them in case you want to find out their full details. Hit up the description in the link and you can, definitely do some good business with them. Cindy calls Omalay an idiot. Abby, they fried that one. Egusi soup was not even near. Abby, it was yam, pounded yam, egusi soup, chicken fritters. They just mixed up cuisines from everywhere and they gave that one pepe. What's about Cindy? You go kwogera ng'omanyi olina pasti gye basobola okukozesako. You go kuwasa mango jimanya abana bakulinako info, because right now the timeline in every part of the country is volatile. It's been a rough 2020, not just for Uganda, Nigeria, America, London, you name it. You take what I'm saying. So kakana, you don't just come out and you call somebody an idiot and you don't expect backlash. My goodness, what horrified me. Y'all gave me a throwback Thursday on a what? It was a Monday. Oh, Jesus. Cindy, I know you're happy now and you have some money. Can't you pay some hacker out there to just make those photos disappear? Because damn, girl. The last thing I wanted to see while I was in this struggle of free Omalay and Thames was your butt cheeks. Those are not butt cheeks worth looking at. Ooh, child, the Nigerians brought all of that back. I was like, wow, Cindy, wow. The Nigerians trolled us because, well, after the concert had gone down, prior to the concert, Bebe Cool says it's going to happen. So before we know it, the concert happens, the artists are standing up in uproar, they're all posting up shit. I see Gravity Omutuju saying it's going to sue the government. I see so much. Then comes the drama now. They arrest Thames and Omalay. I'm like, oh, okay. Why are they being arrested? Well, they broke SOPs. They were not supposed to be in a place like that. They said all the ish that we know is happening in the country. Now, some questions that everybody has asked about Thames and Omalay situation. One, we need to see that immigration visa. This whole shit has been going on. There's been distraction after distraction. I'm going to tell you about the distractions, but before the distractions, the Thames arrest and release and them getting on the plane was too fast, fam. Shit in my country never happens that fast. Never. Which makes you believe there's a bigger story. There's a bigger picture that they have just refused to give us. Because one thing we know, they're arrested. Next thing we know, they're arraigned. Next thing we know, they're forgiven. Next thing we know, they're going. I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on? So anyway, they arrest them. We start the hashtag, free Thames, free Thames, free Thames, free Thames, free Omalay. Everybody's like, why? Me, I just have simple questions. Immigration, stand up. How did these people come into the country? If they came on a tourist visa, then they definitely had every reason to actually arrest them. If they did, right? If they came on a tourist visa. If they came on a work visa, then that's different. Another thing, who is the organizer of this chivulu? Mwacha tegere example. A lot has been said about promoter, this one, that one, Omalay, Thames, and like 3 other people or 4 other people, but we do not know who bankrolled this chivulu. Because when you look at the original posters, which are also another cause for question, Sanyu FM was on that shit. That's Ruparelia group of companies, innit? So they was behind that shit, right? Again, after the whole drama, I'm still asking so many questions. I'm like, okay, the event was supposed to be a brunch, but then the brunch turned into a chivulu past 7. But then again, the people who are at the chivulu tell you that they were actually with police, because we all know in these COVID times, if you're going to host people, you're supposed to have a police letter. So who got that police letter? Who cleared the grounds or the place they were at? Because you changed venues twice. Who cleared that? Let's stop looking at the surface. Who paid for that ish? And why aren't they telling us the original bankroller of this situation? Why? Why? Because I mean, Thames, no disrespect, because I know most people are going to be like, Thames is an upcoming artist, right? She's loved. She has a beautiful voice. Omalay, same situation. He's not yet that big, like wow, but he's a talented young man. So my question goes, why arrest these guys? Because I don't think the artists were supposed to even be in custody for any reason. It ain't their fault. They flew in, they were supposed to perform, they were paid to perform, and they gave their all. They performed, they had a blast. The promoter was like, yes, so explain to me this dumb shit of you saying you're going to arrest them. They don't know crap. They're not even from my country. That's when I was like, okay, something is off about this. Something is so off. So that whole situation took us an entire weekend. An entire weekend, people, of back and forth between the Nigerian fraternity, the Ugandans, who are actually beautifully all behind free Thames and Omalay, and then the Nigerians on the other hand. You called us some shit, man. You called my country a WhatsApp group. That shit was foul. It still hurts every time I say it. And then they told us that our country is actually Davido's parking yard. Then there's one who came out and said, Abi, Aliko Dangote can feed our nation out of his pocket change. I'm like, why? Your people said our Christian Crane wears a beret. How? How? Nigeria, you're the savage. Anyway, like I was saying, so all this stuff happens so quick, so fast, in a country that we know never likes to do anything fast. It begs the question. So someone comes and tells me, Tina, it's because of the pressure coming from the Ugandan artists. Let me tell you something. The government doesn't give 2 shits about UG artists. You know why? Because they know your loyalty is for hire. Your loyalty is for pay. They don't have to be all up in your faces and do good shit for you. They just have to call you and say, oyagala meka. Oyagala meka tuine chivulu. Onali obatolia. Mwate atola pacha NRM atenze ndiwa people power. Na ye kalenja kulia. That's you, Ugandan artists. That's you. Whether you want to believe this, whether you're going to take this out of context, but that's how it is. The Ugandan government doesn't care. So I'm still wondering. Someone goes like, it's because of the international community pressure. Do you know how much international community pressure we have? Messenger just the other day, he did something with the ICC, is it? He sent a letter. Next thing I know, we're seeing sanctions on some particular army generals. Next thing we know, we're already present internationally, people. We are present, so you can't tell me there's something off. So I sat down, like the beautiful mind and soul that I am. I'm like, wait, before the Thames and Omalay situation, twali ku struggle chi. So it so happens in that same week, we have some things that we need to talk about. We do. Because I feel they gave us the perfect distraction. We have the Ministry of Health situation. Ladies and gentlemen, I kid you not. I kid you not. Ministry of Health says they bought a 100-seater tent at 163 Ugandan million shillings each. And then when they're asked, where are these tents that cost 163 million a piece? I can't make this shit up. I can't. I swear I can't. The ministry comes out and says they were blown away by the wind. Jesus. The wind, people, it blew away a tent worth 163 Uganda million shillings. It blew it and it went. No one could chase it. No one saw where it landed. It went. Hi, Jesus. Naye mutu Jose, Uganda mutu Jose. No. What? I was thinking, I'm like, what type of wind is that? Are we experiencing hurricanes and tornadoes in my country that I don't know about? How far? What speeds was this wind going? Was it the Tasmanian devil type of speed? Like, somebody explain this shit to me, because I can't. I'm trying to make it make sense. Took about 10 years, 163 million, and then someone on the timeline, that's who, paper, Faisal starts this whole thing, and I find it interesting to read. So he goes on this whole, I like to give credit where it's due, because he did something that I was not going to do, you know. He took the time out to know the exact factory prices of some of the things that were listed in the budget. Now, the budget was given to us. It was at NTV, yeah, they did an in-depth budget review of the COVID situation, and yo, you know a megaphone. As a Ministry of Health, bagambye each yameka 200 and something amounts of money each. So paper takes the time out and he goes like, okay, let me go to the manufacturer straight from Wanzhou, China. That's where we're gonna get this it from. And the pricing there, even if you paid taxes here, it wouldn't amount to 100K. A megaphone. I'm like, Otio, that's okay, that's something. Before we know it, comes out the scandal of the ventilators and the oxygen supplying units. Now, this is the scandal for me. This is why I tell you, they're going to keep giving us distractions. Kubaka tuwebatu say, babanga tebaina nsonyi oba bali kuonono manyi bali wagamba okulemererwa nnyo nona ndoza kye bakola. The company that is in charge, or that has the what's it called? That has the tender to actually supply ventilators and all that oxygen equipment and all of that is owned by the Kutesa situation. Now, when you get a Kutesa, you know where that is going. That is the only man in Uganda. He is the grandfather of corruption. Like, he is the... If you've watched American Gods, each god comes from a particular time. I believe Sam Kutesa is reincarnate, like he is the original god of corruption. Ain't a thing in my country that goes down, that is wrong, without that man's name in it. So they say, okay, the family has the tender, it's his daughters and all of that. Silverback pharmacies, those guys. We looked at the prices of how much they were charging the Ministry of Health per ventilator compared to the factory price, plus let's say taxes. Do you think we even have to pay taxes for stuff like that right now? I don't think so. We did all the math, and honey, it does not come to anywhere close to the amount that they have been giving this to the ministry. And I'm sitting there asking myself, wait, nobody proof checks this stuff, nobody just says anything like Uganda wetu say no. I'm looking at those prices, I'm looking at the prices on the different budgets, I'm like, what the fuck? But meanwhile, as we're looking at the Ministry of Health and how they've been spending this taxpayers' money, grants, donations and everything, the COVID cases keep going up. The deaths keep going up. As all of that is still happening, I checked to find out how much it would cost you if you had the COVID just to be in a hospital in Uganda. About Uganda, it costs you 5 million shillings a day. A day. Yambala maski. Mbwagwe yambala maski. Yoze ngalo. Because I don't think you're going to manage 5 million a day in an economy that is non-existent, where the rich are really rich and the poor are really poor and there's nowhere in between. We don't have a middle class. But mwerimba, there's no middle class. So tell me, nze, nacheyune wabwe nzunze ngenze mukatale ndiku aso zange, government iteyandabirira, they didn't secure my future, so to say. Nonya chikumi ndisa abana chi COVID chinkutte. Tuke mu ddwaliro bansabe 5 million. Ezo sente ne bajjajja bange tebazirabangako omulundi gumu. Olabanga nacheyune bwofa. Okutuka nofa. Eno government tekufaako. Bako. Bobako. Hey, tugende maaso tuba tukyali awo ebya Ministry of Health nga nabyo bigezze. I'm like, but wait, there are other distractions within these distractions. Like, what else is there? I'm like, oh, okay. So Ministry of Health. Then it hit me. Did y'all read that story? I'm waiting for has the ministry confirmed on it anyway? The number of vaccines that they got for this nation? 2 million? 2 million vaccines. 2 freaking million vaccines. Remember, each vaccine is taken twice. 2 million vaccines for a population of 43 million. Actually, tujiwamvu is a dollar. Tujiteke ku 45 million. That's what Uganda is going for. Begs you the question, who do you think are going to be the first 2 million people to get it? Kutesa's family, of course, it has to feature. Mwabali mu struggle mugenda kufa mbwa mmwe muchafa. Wetuli wano tugenda kufa. Ah, yes. Yo, I know you guys are seeing me laughing, but yo, this is not even funny. It gets to a point where you get so depressed, you find the haha moment in it, right? 2 million vaccines for a population of 43 million. Let that sink in. If that doesn't make you wear your damn mask and wash your hands and stay away from crowds, okay, things are going okay. There's so much happening. The TL is lit. All this is going on. In brings Canary again. Canary. You are not even supposed to be a part of this conversation, eh? But I just had to pepper you in there. So Canary comes out. I need to read this ish. Like, I don't want people to quote me verbatim for some. Where's my phone at? I don't want people to quote me verbatim for some ish that. No, Canary needed to. No. How do you tell me this is a man who is going to come on your television and tell you that he is going to give you a very unbiased opinion about what exactly is happening in his country or in this here country? He goes on to say stuff like this, right? He says he was asked, as you fight tooth and nail to engage these government officials, which humbles most of us, do you, in your outright Ugandan spirit, the spirit that means well for Uganda, think that these officials mean well for Uganda. And Canary comes back and he says, most Ugandan government officials I've interacted with mean well for Uganda. They just find themselves trapped in an unending desire to secure personal interests above public interests. Even when this happens, yes, even when this happens, doesn't mean that they stopped caring for this country. Njagala abooluganda tukwate obudde tukkirize mbu ono omwana ku bintu bibiri. He's either representing well for cute men wearing suits and making them look stupid, because now every time I see a cute man wearing a suit, I'm like, oh, he's an empty head, he's stupid. He's like just stupid, you know? Or he didn't use the thought process. You know, there's a reason why they call it thought process, not speech process. You have to think it through before you say it. For a guy who is interviewing the president of this here nation, this is a bad look. For a guy who everybody keeps praising is an investigative journalist and all of that, this is a bad look, because the question here was, as you, a Ugandan, you feeling for the Ugandan person, do you feel that these different government officials have us at heart? And the best you could come up with was like, well, Baba, tababira ddala nnyo naye olaba newe baba tekijjawo okumanya mbu ekkubo bbi. The fuck? It's like, you guys need to understand the context of this. Basically, what Canary was saying is that the government officials, they're thieves, they're thugs, they're robbing you clean. Like he said it. If you didn't know, now you know. He said, Babi, bakumpanya, baliazamanya, ngumizewo chigambo chechirala. But as he's saying that, he goes on to defend them and says, but even when all of that thuggery and nyokery and theft is going on, guess what, Uganda? Tuchabagaliza, onjagalizachi. Sente zigenda okuntwala ku ssomero ozibbye. Sente ze nandigenze nejjanjaba mu ddwaliro ozibbye. Amakubo ge nanditambuliddeko sente ozibbye. Kati tell me, how you finna tell me that you love me? Or that you have my interest at heart? Canary. Mwayolesezza nnyo. Eno 2020 agenda kutambula na bingi. Some people are not going to be very relevant for the next couple of years, because we are finally coming to know where you stand as an individual when it comes to this here nation. We're finally going to find out. Like Mwewani Senyo, and you know what they say? The higher the monkey goes, the more you expose your bottom. Bottoms are exposed. As for TV stations in this country, I salute, I stand. You all reek of biasness. Your bias is so strong that you actually have to hide it behind some shit. Wow. Anyway. Baby, that's what Canary had to say. Now you know the type of person he is. He's telling you they're going to rob you clean, but it doesn't matter. As they are robbing you, they still feel for you. Okay. It's like having a one-night stand that doesn't want you tomorrow, and it comes back and tells you, yeah, I mean, I banged. And I banged another one, but it doesn't mean that, you know. That's what you're saying. Man, this shit is tight. Real tight. Next thing we know, as the whole Thames and Omale situation is still going back and forth, Bebe. Think I just tell Bebe cool. Ibratwa mugamba dia sirike na agana. Bebe banenze nyina kalimi. Bebe na kugamba sirika. Sirika mu. 2021 did. He started this whole situation. Like I have never seen something escalate and blow up in someone's face that fast. Guy yatandika bulungi abagamba bana Uganda bagenda bajoga mujogedwa, an artist is coming. That was a good call, innit? That was a good call. Then how the shit turned left, I don't know. Before we know it, Bebe Cool is the same guy who is saying they should get arrested. Then when the Nigerian community and Ugandans drag him, he's like, no. Then before we know it, he's like, I am trying to secure their release. I'm like, what? No, you're not. Oh, come on, baby, cool. You know you're not. And I was waiting for him to take credit because I knew he was going to take credit for that shit. The moment he did. He had to take some credit for it. But I think that credit is not our problem right now because we know what we know what Santamo did. We know what Bobby Wine did. And I bet you Chameleon is somewhere sitting there like, why? It was top 3, now they're just 2. I need to join in, but anyway. Yeah, baby, cool. And he put himself there. They are free. We have released. We have, you know. Baby, cool. I think we all need to have a heart like Baby Cool. That guy is a brave heart. He is the original brave heart. Bebe mumuvuma kumandi. Tuesday na abadira. Wednesday ne chimulia. Thursday ne chivunda. Friday ne chonna ne chikola bwechiti ne chisanyawo. Saturday nga abalina. Oyo guy. Nze namuvako sagala namuogerako because I have honestly not yet seen somebody like Bebe Cool. He is a class apart. Anyway. That also happened. He tried to take credit for something that he didn't really do. But what's funny, it's like a snitch telling you, okay, I snitched, but you know, I'm sorry, I'ma help you out. Because you're the one who called for their arrest in the very first place, right? Now you have them arrested and the Nigerian community is calling you out by the name. Oh, they were loud and proud. Ooh, his was all over the place. He's like, hey, Chameleon, we've been collabing in 2015. And then I'm like, wait, Davido is all over the place calling, you know, Cindy things like Mumu. I'm like, okay. Before I know it, Burna Boy is complaining. Before I know it, Tiwa Savage is complaining. I'm sitting there like, I'm basking in this glory, man. Because you see, this is where you were wrong, Baby Cool. This is why I kept telling you to shut the fuck up. But you just won't shut the fuck up. You do know for a fact. This is a stated fact. Ayagalo chiyombera muyomba teka amagulu munsawo bobo osobola. We need Nigeria more than Nigeria needs us. This is the truth. Let's even not talk about economies and all of that crap. Let's talk about just the musical industry. For a Ugandan artist to actually get recognition, it always has to have a certain Niger connect at some point, somewhere. Someone is going to be like, what about Party After Party by Big Trill? Guys in Nigeria even now. His management is Nigerian. I don't think that beat was made by our regular people here. It must have had a kapepe in it of Nigeria. Look at all these artists, whenever they come down here, all of you are struggling to get collabos because you know, for them, their market is far widespread. And they have a certain togetherness that when one of them drops a hit, it's on them to actually sell it. If Burna Boy drops a hit, Thames is not going to have a problem promoting Burna Boy. And Burna Boy is not going to have a problem supporting Thames to his peers, to his crowd, to his people. Which means in that spirit, Banji, they have grown like a wildfire. Now you, Baby Cool, your only country doesn't like you. How the fuck are the others supposed to? Bwejja Uganda tukukaba. En Nigeria kati nabo bakukaba. Kola bogenda zijjawa. Sauti Sol tesobola kuyimirira nawe. Sauti Sol has been known, they always stand behind the people. And that's the thing that you Ugandan artists forget. For your relevance, for your longevity, you always have to be about the people. But Tamuchimanyi, Baba Gambako and Omogera police brutality and every Ugandan artist is like, hey John, Irene Intale had the audacity to tell us we don't have to force it upon them, bitch. Bitch. For real. That's the best you could come up with. For real. Now, how does it feel? How does it feel knowing that the masses that you want to sing for and make happy, the masses supposed to give you money, are telling you, how does it feel? Which is different in Niger, man. Them brothers is solid. You get one of theirs, they're coming at you, all of you. But you same artists, Bebe Cool kenyini yabagamba bajja. Bajja, nemugana. Nemugano chifa hako. Then when they came, you're like, nyo. We do how? Bebe Cool, you have single-handedly, as much as they're all still tweeting one love, Africa this, we love each other, That record is forever going to stain us. Forever. Tiwa Savage tweeted, I think yesterday, and she's like, I was supposed to perform in Uganda real soon, but I'm not coming back. And then you all had the audacity to go like, hey, don't come, we don't need you. Are you fools? You need them. If they told Ugandans to play only your music from morning till night, mujagwedalu. Because all of you listen to this music. All of you seek for inspiration in that music. All your artists, your producers try to imitate the Nigerian market. And then you're out here telling us, we don't need them. Oh yeah, we need them. We need them in every light. In every light. So, I'm just saying, Ugandan artists. Bamba mbadde mweraganga mulowooza mwe muli bannakyemaliridde. Wano we tutuuse. Ate abantu bakyabasabula. Learn how to cater for the people that you want their money from. Like, zino sente muzijja mufe. If you released one song and we all didn't like it, it wouldn't be a hit, would it? But if you release that same song and we all like it, it's a hit. So how can you tell me you want me to make you a star, but you don't want to care for the process of how I'm making you a star or why I feel like I should make you a star? What's wrong with you? So when the next time when a Ugandan stands up and says, Banange, spicy, bamukwe kubia bifananyi ku Instagram, taka yoka hashtag, police brutality, do that shit. Because it's the least you can do for these people that show you love every day. It's the least. It's the least. No, mutunga fikifamaika. Fikifamaika nawe notabera yoko. You're irrelevant. Gwe andibadda kuba hashtag ya police brutality. Kuba gwe ne government tosobola kuyitambwe kuwe tubonga nawe. Why not Jukuba? Not. Zenatulidde ba artists banji ne ngamba, oh, this is why I feel I need to open up a PR company just to teach these mofos how to move in a room full of vultures. Tamu inache mumanyi mwekubya mizimu mwe muloza mama olokuba tubalaba ku TV mujja musalimba. They love us, they want us, we are stars. Where? Huh? Ngenda kati ku concert yonfunira yo COVID. Ministry of Health Center yaziridde azibbe azimazeeyo. Gwobonga sizwacho. Naye ngenda ku concert yo. Nenfunayo COVID. Nochimanya mbu banayo COVID yayitiridde. Nokomawo ku timeline. Oba ku mukutu gwonna gwoyagala n'ogamba museseme sente z'abana Uganda. Baby, concert eddako nzija ngambo yatulwanira mu biseera bya COVID oyo tuli naye. Naye mwenna baba wulire kujanga muwaawala. We want, it's unfair, it's unfair. Unfair to who? Unfair to who? You were the first people to start crying at the beginning of lockdown. Tebali bayimbi ne babouncer and ba owners. Miezi mwenda into it muchaka. Kati ate for omuntu wa wansi atayina na linya atayina kyakulya atayina byakumuyamba. Speak for the people and the people will speak for you. If you people love this, if you people showed Ugandan musicians, if you Ugandan musicians showed the people of Uganda that you care one bit about their welfare, their well-being, Thames and Omale were never going to be a problem. Oh, Sha, we would have stood up. We would have rallied like, how? We want to listen to APAS. How do you bring us this guy? But we were with Thames and Omale. We were like, Muchikube Badia, Sabla, Tegenemas. We don't give two shits, Ugandan musicians. We don't. And of course, yes, this episode was also proudly sponsored by Hans Selevi Boutique down at Uganda Mall. That is, of course, shop 379 on the ground floor in case you want to just, look good. Pandemic tagenda kule mesa byonna. Tajja kule mesa byonna. Visit their Instagram pages and their Facebook pages. And of course, you can hit them up. I'm going to put the link in the link in the description below. For any of you who want to contact them for any of the latest stuff you want, anything you want, designer clothes, you want good, genuine, authentic jewelry, you want that fancy stuff, yeah, go check them out. Hans Celevi Boutique. Waiki Brenda? Na Cindy? And Cindy, look here, you have a right to complain Baba Sibye. Na imwe ba artist mulekera okweko byemizimu kati kamba sabule. Mbadde mbalekeredde naye nkijjukidde. Swangs Avenue had Rust and Rhyme at Murchison Falls. That place was full up, and they say they got clearance. They got clearance to actually hold Rust and Rhyme. The shit we have been doing virtually. Nyege couldn't happen, right? Blankets and Wine couldn't happen. We did it virtually. But Swangs Avenue took it to Murchison Falls. And there was a lot of people. Police Taina Chayogede City Senegal, but Thames and Omale disrespected our guidelines. I'm like, okay, that's okay. Before Rust and Rhyme, I was on a friend's Snapchat. There is this new artist everyone is talking about, Zuli something, Goyo. Exactly, and he actually also performed at the Omale concert. I don't know why for him he wasn't arrested. But that guy had a listeners' party at Pearl of Africa Hotel that was filled to the brim. Ayagalo chiwakanya mbuza, because I have photos. I have photos. Mwesiriwaza, shiragashumba yabasiriwaza. Apostinga ku snap. I watched all those things on Snapchat and I was like, wait, when did they close these bars? And which artist is saying they're not performing? Because like about, I don't remember how many artists, they all showed out for that party and they performed. The only thing chebakola, baga na banamawulire nga tebagala mbusimanyo oba police. The double standards. The double standards. Because you arrested Thames and Omale a day after their concert, right? Kakati never no mobile arresting, regardless of how far back it was. Those are some crazy double standards. For the artists saying we have been closed, we have been in lockdown, not all of you. There has been a wedding in Kampala almost every weekend. Atebuli mbaga jengendako Jasmine ayimba, Rema awereza, gundi akoza atya. Y'all has been performing and y'all has been getting paid. Birthday parties. I have so many friends in your fraternity who can honestly swear down that they have made a lot more money during this COVID than they would have made in a regular time. Kati mula sanachi. Wachi muogana. Echukulu mwakubia mizimu. Mwakubia mizimu. All you have to do to figure out this shit, I don't know why the government and the police do not join Snapchat. Fucking join Snapchat. Join it. Then you will know that no bar has ever closed, that no artist is starving, that bouncers are still very much representing at these bars and restaurants till the late. Daone mutu woganira, unfair. Cindy, can we count? Can we count how many performances you've had? Club beats at home, yabwerere. You show up and perform for free. Come on, people have been calling these artists to perform for them on the low. If you have not been called, it means you're useless. No one wants your music. You didn't tewakola music every timeless. Yembaga yokufiro, music yokufiro. Oh wait, there was a rumor. Mbusimanya Vinka, people are like, Vinka is going to Wati. To Kwanjula. No, not anytime soon. Olialimu, she's dealing with her car business and she's moving life. Most people thought because they didn't see on the lineup for is it the club bits, that's why she's not going to show up now, fam. They only didn't put her up because they only wanted 2 artists. And Swangs Avenue felt it was good for them to push Winnie Nwaji at this time. And Azawi, by the way, Azawi, big up on the new teeth, baby girl. Ooh, that girl must be smiling like this. Like every time you meet her, she just go like, hi. Or when she's saying her name, I bet you it's no longer, this is how she say, yeah, Mazawi. Now it's going to be like this. Amazawi. Kongs, of course, they're not telling us how much they spend on that, which is good on them. But Kongs, that's a good thing because I felt like y'all made so much fun about this girl and her look. It's about time she got that superstar look, which I feel she always had though. She's unique. in her own way. I don't even feel like they needed to change it. Anyhow, who else? There's so much that's been going on in 1 week for me to even. Okay, so Lindako. UCC! Woo, my favorite conversation. So UCC sends. Is that a petition? It's a petition or something? I don't know the right English to use. Anyway, UCC sends in a petition to Google and YouTube, and it is calling out for a particular number of channels on YouTube to be suspended. No, not suspended. Like forever, blocked. There is Ghetto TV, there is Lumbuye, and according to UCC, they say the reason why they are flagging those two is because their content could probably incite violence, or their content is going to hurt us economically and all that crap. I'm like, what's that? I need for you people to understand all of this I'm talking about is happening between Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All this crap went down like that. I think UCC was yesterday, but Sunday too. I read that petition and I'm like, wait, wow. So let me ask you, Sissy. Say YouTube, Google, they agree to your demand. Explain to me why you would tell us you're doing that in the first place. Because let me tell you how you snitched on yourself. Those documents shouldn't have leaked. Y'all should have gone on with your petition with Google and YouTube and not told us. Because now, when we see those channels blocked, guess what? We're definitely going to follow his new channels. Temwakabaze. It's like you alerted these people. Sawa na bivako. Right? So kati nafe tulinze. Ezo channels we banaziblokinga nga bagulawo endala nga nazo tuziwatchinga nga noddamu muweereza petition nga neyo bagiblokinga nga muddamu muweereza endala nga. It's going to be a Tom and Jerry chess, but yeah, we are here for it. After someone was asking me, oh, Tina, but do they have jurisdiction? Because I saw everybody on the timeline going like, what? That's not their jurisdiction. Well, I don't know if most of you take the time out to read those agreements when you're joining these different platforms. Let it be Google, let it be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. There's that thing, that terms, agreements, ACO. Take the time out and go through them. All of you want to know if UCC can actually can do it. Yeah, they can. Kambuze UCC. Chichi UCC. Nga mulwanisiza abana Uganda. Chichi. Mugezezako. Like, you can't fathom the thought that this young generation is too loud. You're like that parent who is stuck parenting the old school way in a new school place. Imagine if you watched cartoons growing up, if you're in my age bracket, there was a cartoon called the Jetsons. So imagine you come from Earth and you join the Jetsons. They are living on some planet, everything is high tech. That's UCC for you. Why? What's so hard? Like, who brought OTT? Because we don't even know. I think they were also there. Because they are a regulating body. You're supposed to regulate. Keyword, regulate. Right? My country. When I tell you I do not make this shit up, I swear to God, I do not make this shit up. So yeah, that situation is happening. My question is, for how long? Because you see, my country has this habit. Every time there's an election coming closer is when we see the different entities and authorities start to look like they're doing work. That's when URA will come and tell you, we have made this much. That is when they'll start fixing up roads at breakneck speed. You've seen it. I know, I can bet you each and everybody's road in their neighborhood has actually been dragged up. Because we need a good photo op, don't we? We do. We need a good photo op. Just look at the shit that goes down during the election time. And then come February, they're going to go back to their normal selves. Man, somebody needs to tell everyone out there, being a Ugandan is an extreme sport. Like, you know those extreme sports that white people like? Like, I want to go kayaking in a river that nobody has ever gone to. That's being a Ugandan. Like, I want to go hiking where there's mountain gorillas that hate people and noise, but I'll yell. Yeah, that's what it feels like being a Ugandan. It's a fucking extreme sport. But we are, regardless, we move. We shall move. Mitima jakaluba. Tetulina bitengo. Man! Shite! Anyway, all of that is still going on. I'm not even going to talk about the election campaign, the trail. I'm done. Does anyone care anymore? We don't? We're over it? We're just waiting for the D-Day? They made reshuffles in the army. Again, I told you. It's simple. Always look closely at the ish that goes down when there's an upcoming election. Simple. There'll be reshuffles in police, there'll be reshuffles in the army, there is definitely reshuffles in the judicial sector. Haven't you noticed? They recently reshuffled in the judicial sector. There'll always be reshuffles. They're key parts of your constitution, people. So in a nutshell, if you ask me, because I know all of you were so excited about this conversation because you knew I was going to talk about the artists, ndete omukuomu, mbavume, tewali chensobola kuvuma artist we Uganda chesimuvumye. Tewali chesobola kubulira artist we Uganda chesimugambye in the past 5 years. What I want Ugandans to understand is you need to know what is a distraction and what is not a distraction. These artists, even next year when shit is better, they'll get back to being themselves. But you, the common man, needs to understand, why am I paying so much attention to an artist not working yet the ministry is telling me that they cannot afford to treat me if I get a disease that is not even my fault? That is happening globally. You dig? I always tell you these things. I always do. Stop looking at what's here. Let's look what's here. Know when a distraction is a distraction. I believe the only time Bebe Cool is pulled out to come and do all his shenanigans is a distraction, because there's always some shit going down on the low. And then he comes and steals up the timeline. You people need to be smarter than this. They brought you 2 million vaccines for a population of 45 or 43. I like to make it 45 because we can't be sure. Our census. When was the last time we did a census anyway? Not even 5. I think it's like 12 years. I remember the last time I did a census. You dig? Those are questions you're supposed to be asking yourself. Why is the ministry having accountability for money that is coming from your coffers? That doesn't add up. Why are nurses and doctors that are treating COVID patients not paid? What is the situation between COVID, the pandemic, and if our kids are going to ever go back to school in the same normal way? And if so, is the government still buying us those radios? And if so, are they going to pay the teachers this time around? Yo, there are bigger issues. There are bigger issues than a musician trying to live off his fame. Bigger issues. So if I disappointed any one of you who thought it was going to be sabula, nah, fam. Nah. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop telling you the things that you need to pay attention to. And right now, I think we need a huge floodlight. We need to put a floodlight in Ministry of Health and understand what the fucking yokery is going on there. Kubanga bali baba. Ebya Sam kutesa byo simanyi na wabitandikira. Cause oyo guy abba Sam kutesa abba obana abera mu scandal and there's nothing you can do to him. He's the only guy who a full licensed media person can write up a full write up. This scandal, samkutesa, this samkutesa, ngazilinga chikumi. Engera no sanga nga bamuwadde position endala y'obupaawo. Siye nanyini airport yamu. Hey, nga tuvudde mu bya struggle endala. I know I said I was team natural sanyo. 1 minute I'm like I want to lose weight, then the next minute I'm like team dimnene, then the next minute I'm like hey. But anyway, somebody hit me up, right? And they gave me this amazing, like I wish I could show up and show you all my tummy right now because it's snatched. It's not. So these guys from Nutriuganda, oh God, she reaches out to me and she's like, hey T, you know, at times just losing weight, there's a lot going on before you even lose the weight. So I'm like, hit me up, sis. And she tells me, have you ever cleaned your colon? Sichiwuliranga nako. Colon itojimanyi. Colon like agenda Joe. So apparently your colon actually stores up lots of nonsense over the years and they contribute to your unhealthy self so much, and I didn't know this crap. So she tells me, okay, hit me up. I buy the bottle for just 200k. 200k, it's enough to last you for a year. All you have to do is take it for 10 days. Now in those 10 days, ladies and gentlemen, I feel so good. I feel so clean. I feel for you, if you are a sister out there, but not just a sister, this is also for men. I know most people are going to say like, but it's not for losing weight. You see, I believe for you to understand the gut is for you to clean out the gut. So for just 200k, buy yourself the Nutri Colon Cleanse. It's called Nutri Colon Cleanse. Don't get anything else. And the fun fact about this particular product and why I took it, because hey, most people know me, I don't do pharmaceuticals. It's because everything that is in it is plant-based. So it is healthy. Like it's herbal. That's a win-win. You know, it's herbal. So it cleanses you out, detoxes your body, and puts you on the right path. There's one of the many issues that I keep hearing lately is how younger folks and older folks in equal measure, by the way, that means it cuts across, keep getting colon cancer. Clean your colons out, people. If you don't know what to do, hit me up. Hit me up. I'm going to hook you up. My girl, Nutri, has this amazing thing. It's called Nutri Colon Cleanse. 10 days detox. Most beautiful thing you'll ever do for yourself. You won't regret your 200k. On God, I feel snatched. Because I never took Beyonce, but yeah, small. Not forgetting, if you wanted to find out where this beautiful episode was shot at, we are at none other than Esela Country Gardens down here in Nigeria. If you want to find a place that is peaceful in suburbia, quiet environment, beautiful accommodation, you just come down to Esela Country Gardens. And with those very few words, I call them few, I can talk a lot more than that. I'll catch you on the flip side, which is not anytime. Oh no, sorry. It may be sooner than you even expect. I'm out. I'll catch you on the flip side.